hook of the night was burning with rain and sirens when Daniel pulled the woman out of the wrecked car. He had no idea the stranger he'd just saved was the same powerful CEO whose decision had shattered his career and almost his life. But fate, it seemed, wasn't done with either of them. What began as a moment of heroism would soon ignite a story of second chances, quiet hearts, and choices that change everything. Daniel Carter had learned long ago that life didn't give you breaks, you had to make them. He was a single dad, a mechanic by trade, a dreamer when he could afford to be one. His days started before dawn, fixing engines in a dusty garage, and ended past midnight when his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, fell asleep in his arms. He'd lost his wife to illness 2 years ago, and since then, every heartbeat, every breath, was for his little girl. That stormy night, when the city drowned in thunder and headlights blurred into rain, Daniel was driving home after another late shift. Lily's favorite bedtime song still hummed on his cracked phone speaker when he saw it, a car skidding wildly across the slick road, crashing into the divider with a sound that made his heart stop. Without a thought, he slammed his brakes, jumped out, and ran into the chaos. The car was already smoking. He could see the faint silhouette of a woman inside, her head slumped against the airbag. The door wouldn't budge, and the heat was rising fast. Daniel ripped off his jacket, wrapped it around his hand, and shattered the window. "Hey! Stay with me," he shouted. Her eyes fluttered weakly. He could smell gasoline. Seconds mattered. He dragged her out just as flames licked the back seat. They stumbled into the rain, coughing, the night alive with fire and sirens. As paramedics arrived, Daniel stayed until they loaded her into the ambulance. Her hand brushed his arm, faint, but grateful. "Thank you," she whispered before slipping into unconsciousness. He never even caught her name. The next morning, he found it on the news. Claire Whitmore, CEO of Whitmore Enterprises, survives near-fatal accident. The photo showed her face, composed, elegant, and achingly familiar. Daniel froze. Claire Whitmore. The same woman who, a year ago, had overseen the corporate merger that shut down the auto plant where he'd worked for a decade. The decision had left hundreds unemployed, including him. He wanted to be angry. But instead, he just felt tired. Life had a strange sense of irony. Days passed, and Daniel didn't expect to hear from her again. But then a black car pulled up outside his small garage. A woman stepped out, the same woman he'd pulled from the fire. No designer suit this time, just jeans, a soft sweater, and eyes that carried something between gratitude and guilt. "I had to find you," she said, her voice steady but gentle. "You saved my life." Daniel wiped his hands on a rag. Anyone would have done the same. "No," she said quietly. "Not everyone would risk their life for a stranger. Especially not for someone like me." There was a pause, filled with the hum of rain against tin. "I know who you are," Daniel admitted finally, her expression faltered, guilt flickering in her gaze. "Then you know what I've done." "I know what the company did," he said. "I don't know you." She nodded slowly, then reached into her bag. "I want to make it right. You're a skilled mechanic, and I'm starting a new division, community-based innovation projects. We could use someone like you." "It's more than a job, Daniel. It's a chance to rebuild." He looked at the offer, the words blurring on the paper. A salary that could change everything. Security for Lily. But something else stirred, a sense of pride, of the hard-earned life he'd built on his own. "I'll think about it," he said simply. As she turned to leave, Lily peeked from behind the door, clutching her stuffed bear. Claire smiled gently. "You must be Lily. Your dad's a hero, you know." Lily grinned shyly. "He fixes everything." Claire's eyes softened, and for the first time in years, Daniel saw warmth behind the polished corporate mask. Weeks later, Daniel accepted the offer. Not because he needed saving, but because he sensed that both of them were searching for redemption. Working together wasn't easy. Daniel's practicality clashed with Claire's perfectionism. He was hands-on, she was strategy. Yet over late nights and shared coffee cups, they began to see each other differently. One evening, after everyone had gone home, Claire found him in the workshop, helping Lily paint a wooden toy car. She watched them quietly, the sound of laughter filling the space that used to echo with cold ambition. "You're good with her," Claire said softly. "She's my whole world," he replied. "After my wife passed, I promised I'd give her the best life I could." even if it meant starting over. Claire hesitated, then said, "You know, I lost someone too. My fiancé. A year before the merger. I buried myself and worked to forget." For a moment, the silence between them wasn't empty, it was healing. And the months that followed, their partnership grew, and so did something neither of them expected. Love didn't come like lightning, it came quietly, in moments of trust and understanding. The woman Daniel once blamed became the one who helped him believe again. And the man Claire once saw as a stranger became the one who showed her what real strength looked like. The night they sealed the new project deal, a program helping unemployed workers find new skills, Claire looked at Daniel with tears in her eyes. "You didn't just save my life that night," she whispered. "You gave me a reason to live it differently." He smiled, the faint smell of oil and rain still clinging to his clothes. "Maybe we both got a second chance." She reached out, her hand trembling slightly. "So, what now, hero?" He looked at her, then at Lily playing nearby, and said softly, "Now, we build something worth keeping, together." And as the city lights shimmered through the window, two broken souls, one who had lost everything, and one who had everything but love, found that sometimes fate doesn't just crash into your life to destroy it. Sometimes, it crashes in to set your heart on fire again. Would you like me to write 7 story-based image prompts, scene-wise, and YouTube description, hashtags, and tags next, just like your last story?